Okay. Alright, alright. So, okay, this is like the first stream in like a while because, you know, I haven't really streamed in a while. I've been doing a lot of podcasts and videos, actually, shorts, not a lot of videos though, um, but shorts and a lot of, I think, like like podcast episodes, one in English and one in like two in English, two in Spanish. But yeah, that's what I've been doing lately when it comes to content. We haven't really seen a lot of content when it comes to, shorts and videos because, well, I've been spending a lot more time with family and such. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna put in my camera because why not? And I probably you guys probably want to see my reaction to it, to the to the actual videos that we're gonna watch here today. So, um, yeah. So we're gonna watch a couple of videos today. Um, I specifically wanted to do tech fails for this particular stream because I do love games. Don't get me wrong. I love talking about games. I love doing that sort of thing. I like doing that, and I do like to mix up a little bit of tech here and there too. But that's what I kind of wanted to do mostly. So, um, just for the people who haven't come in yet, you're not missing anything right now because we're just barely starting. Um, so we're gonna look at fundamental mistakes that cost these tech companies money because of ideas or just overall how the project was going. So, um, now I like to start this kind of discussion off with. I kind of like to start this discussion with what is it with big tech companies. So, for example, like Apple. Now, I was like watching or reading about this the other day, and um, I was like watching this video the other day from like Apple Explained, and it was about the it was about it was about the Apple iPhone. It was about the first iPhone that they were gonna that became so successful back in 2007 that Apple decided to bring back. Like we did that like a couple months ago, like at least I have to say about like 9 months ago at this point. We did we we did a video. No, actually, we did a stream on that because I don't remember the date. Seriously, I forget what date I had this on. Let me go and check my studio here. Um, no, let's see. Let me go to my content here and let's see. This was. So this is the first page of this. So okay, so let's up it up. So this was the video that we did like a couple months ago, which is still up on YouTube, by the way. So like 8 months ago at this point. So 8 months at this point, we talked about Apple, and let's see. So like I wanted to do something similar to that particular stream again. Because honestly, I love talking about gaming and about in this channel. Like I'm gonna say again, I love talking gaming. I love talking tech too. So, that doesn't really annoy me when people want to talk about tech. Because honestly, technology is pretty good, and but there are some like tech fails that big companies like Apple and like Microsoft have done over like a period of time where the product just failed essentially, and honestly, it it worries me, and honestly, I look back on all of these. I watch videos on these things or read articles on these things, and I'm like, what was the why did why would why would that big company Apple or Microsoft, for example, why would Apple, you know at first, develop these ideas to where it wouldn't work, and it became so popular that that it became successful, and that many iPhones came right after. But like if the iPhone failed, no phone of that caliber would have been created at all. And you know, just just to kind of they kind of hit it home here. Like I'm forgetting my train of thought this time. I'm forgetting my train of thought this time. Um, Yeah, so like I watched the video on Apple Explained the other day about the Apple iPhone, and it said it like cost like billions of dollars to develop this. And one of the big takeaways is that they had like ideas for designs of what the iPhone was gonna look like, and of course, Steve Jobs hated it. Like I get he's not like the most nice guy to work with, and he's kind of taking work from other people, but at the end of the day, I, I think I think like at the end of the day, the Apple team was just so out of it. Like I don't know what, I just don't understand. Like I from that video alone, I'm just wrapping around my head as to how these Apple tech companies have gone. Like that's the one thing I will never get. That's the one thing that kind of gets me all of on the fuse, it just kind of is, and that's how it is. So, you know, cause like one thing I don't particularly understand was how Apple was able to come back from that. Like if you come back from that, it's not that great, to be honest with you. Like I just don't understand. Like it kind of mystified me that I'll be completely honest with you all, and sorry if I just am a little distracted here. Um that, you know, that like Apple was able to make a comeback even though like in the beginning it was almost about to fail. Like um like it was in development for a couple years. I have no idea how long it was, but it was in development for some time though. It was in development for some time, and I simply do not understand how how Apple was able to make it so successful. And it is obvious that it was the marketing. It was the marketing for it. I like like no pointing fingers here. Like it is, but like it was their genius marketing. But if the marketing had failed, like would you think that Apple would be this successful? Like if it wasn't for the marketing, would you think that Apple would be this successful? Like honestly, like it wouldn't I don't think it would have been as successful as it could have been. Like I'll be completely honest. Like honestly, that's what it feels like. That's what it could have been. Like I'll be completely honest here. Like that's how I feel. You know, not to call uh not to call Apple a bad company or anything, but if Steve Jobs hasn't he didn't do the marketing, didn't have successful talking points about the iPhone and marketed it so successfully, then iPhone would probably be another piece of forgotten tech that people would just brush over, and people would move on to other phones, like other business phones. like that's how it would have been if Steve Jobs had not stepped in. If Steve Jobs didn't step into that marketing department, and he would have not been so successful. It would have been so bad when it came to that. But now I want to do take a look at some other failed products. Windows, Microsoft has always been successful, and I'll be the first to admit it has a great track record, with their operating systems and such. It was great. It was great. It really was. And with that in mind, I think one of their biggest fails was Windows Phone. I feel as though like Windows Phone. And I'll be completely honest with you, like that's how it was. And yeah, I think it was like about $7 billion in marketing. That $7 billion in losses that contributed to that. I think it was. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's what I think. Like, it pretty much wasn't that great to begin with. So, we're gonna go ahead and watch the Microsoft launches Windows 7. And I'm gonna turn off my face cam for a little bit because I just want you guys to watch the video. So, yeah. Okay. Alright, so here we go.
We think there's a lot of things that you'll see today that'll help you understand how the Windows Phone is different. But I'd focus on two key themes: always delightful and wonderfully mine. We'll have 9 phones available when the Windows Phone ships here in the United States in November. 9 different phones. There's a range of phones here from LG, from Samsung, from HTC, and from Dell.
What I'm going to do is show you a demo, and what you'll see up on the screen there is exactly what I do with my finger here. So you're seeing a projection of this phone. And our idea of smart design actually starts right there on the lock screen, where you'll notice down on the bottom of the lock screen we put up your next calendar appointment. So if you just want to have a quick glance at where you're supposed to go next, you pull your phone out, you turn it on, you can see your next appointment, and you're off and good to go. Now, when I pan this up to unlock it, you see the Windows Phone Start experience. Down on the bottom there in hardware, you'll see we have 3 hardware buttons. These are consistent on all the phones. There's a back button, really simple, take you back to where you were, a start button that gets you to this experience, and a search button. More on that later. And as I pan down, you'll see these live tiles are lighting up with information about all my experiences. It's telling me I have 2 unread mail messages. It's telling me I have an unread text message. That was my last Facebook post, Backstage Ready to Rock. It's showing up on my phone and on all my friends' phones. You see my Xbox Live avatar down there. The Pictures Hub has automatically customized with pictures of my twins. The Music and Videos Hub shows me what I've last been playing. And one of the key features for making the phone really wonderfully yours, really deeply personal, is being able to put the people that you care about right up there on your start experience in a live tile.
You don't need world-class AI to just find an image. But to create exactly what's in your head, then yeah, this'll get you there. The fastest, most intelligent Windows PCs ever.
Like, honestly, like there was no explanation of apps or nothing. It was pretty terrible, man. Now, I don't particularly talk about operating systems a lot, and what could have, like, I'll be honest, like ME was very unnecessary at this time. It was very unnecessary when it came out because you already had Windows 2000. You already had Windows 2000 as a code base. And remember, it was made for business, but there was nothing for the home side of things. And, you know, with that in mind, I think people didn't really like ME that much, and you know, people switched to 2000, even though it was like a professional operating system. And you know, I just think, you know, they decided to go for another home run on Vista, even though like it was like 4, like maybe 3, 5 years in development. And you know, the ideas are great. Don't get me wrong, the ideas were absolutely amazing. When you look at the concepts for Longhorn, you know, it would be better. You know, it could have been better. And yeah, so okay, we'll start.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Microsoft Chairman Bill Gates.
Well, it all started 24 years ago here in New York City. 1983, Microsoft committed the company to graphical user interface. And there we were, the machines could barely keep up displaying the text. The windows could barely fit in memory.
Took us 2 more years to get it all put together. And even explaining why we believed in graphical interface was very tough. But that was our bet. Our bet that not only could we do fantastic things with Windows, but it would become the platform that the software industry would build on. And that it would unleash an opportunity for hardware partners to do amazing things. It was 12 years later that finally we could say our vision of graphics interface had succeeded. With Windows 95 and Office 95, there was an incredible level of excitement. Those products brought unbelievable features like long file names. Can you imagine it? 32-bit computing. And it really drove graphical interface into the mainstream. It led the software industry that had been built up around Windows to an incredible level of success. In fact, Windows became the majority of all software sold on all computers. And compatibility thrived with more and more manufacturers building great Windows machines. And so here we are 12 years later. It's a very different industry today, far larger and tackling a much broader range of tasks. In fact, we can say that 12 years ago it was pretty narrow. It was creating documents, hoping you could print those documents. Fonts were an amazing thing. People couldn't believe, wow, these fonts. They're just incredible. But we didn't have instant messaging. The internet was in its infancy. The browser was kind of an obscure feature that first came with Windows 95. And things like digital photography, or moving telephony onto the internet, or TV onto the internet, or digital buying and selling with all the world's marketplaces made more efficient through digital approaches. Those were just a gleam in our eye. There were a fifth as many PCs as there are today. Today, the vision of the digital lifestyle has really become mainstream. We talk about this as the digital decade because it's now that we take the idea of everyone taking digital photographs for granted, or being able to organize their music on the PC for granted, or being able to use Media Center to record TV shows, being able to get the very best games and play online with other players. So everything's becoming digital. And the platform that allows people to be creative and build new applications and show off new hardware advances, that's a central element that allows it all to thrive. So Windows 95 was key to its era, and Windows Vista is key to the era we have today. Broadband penetration is going up every year. People's expectation for how we can do better digital health records, better education, better collaboration, all of those things rest on having this very strong platform. Homes are expecting now to have integration, to be able to get their photos up in their living room, to be able to organize things in a rich way. Users don't want to move from device to device and have it all be different for them. And so as things have gone digital, people have very, very high expectations. They want to be able to take their computers with them. In 1995, there were no portable machines, not to mention concepts like a tablet computer that would bring something like ink into the way that you interact with the machine. People want their PCs now to work with their phones, which have become incredibly smart, and also a device that runs software. And you want to move back and forth and have that be something that's completely seamless. So Windows has this exciting central position, a position that is used by thousands and thousands of companies to build their products. So it's been 12 years since we brought Windows and Office together, done a release where we're just showing off the platform with Office innovation, a breakthrough there, and the breakthroughs in Windows coming out together. What kind of innovations are we talking about? Well, we don't have time to list them all, but I like to group them in the following way. I think of the features that make it all easier. This is where we get things like search, or the Office ribbon, the Flip 3D, the thumbnail previews. Lots of things in that category of just making it easier. Because after all, people have a lot more files, a lot more photos, a lot more music, and we've got to make it simple to move around and find those things without forcing the user to do a lot of work on their own. The second category I think of is safer. And there's a lot here because as the internet has become mainstream, the issue of making sure your information is protected, that you don't lose it, that you understand your privacy, and software is not working against you, that's become very important. So here we have the new IE capabilities, anti-phishing, anti-spyware, parental controls, a lot of things so that you have safety without having to spend a lot of time thinking about it. Then I think about entertainment. This is where all the great new games that use DX10 come in. We've got some neat free games that go along with it. This is Photo Gallery, to take both movie clips and photos and tag them and navigate through them. DVD Maker that makes it easy to do a rich presentation and just send that off to all of the relatives. Support for high definition. High definition definitely moving into the mainstream, and now Windows with great support for that. Another category is better connected. This is how we make it simple to find the Wi-Fi resources and understand if something's not working, exactly what that is. This is where we've got the extensions for RSS. RSS support in Windows, RSS support in Office as well. XML capability throughout the system, lots of APIs that relate to that, and Office itself, even using XML file formats. That's a standard that Microsoft got behind and has really gotten critical mass for the entire industry, facilitating exchange of information in a very rich way. It's definitely a platform for innovation. We've opened it up, and already we're seeing partners doing great things. There are two ways that people are going to get a hold of these products. With Vista, you can upgrade on the machine that you've got today. We've made that easier than ever. People just go to the Windows Vista Upgrade Advisor and then they run that. It'll tell them exactly what they need to do, what's going on with their system, or of course they can get that with a new system. Well, the best way to understand all the enthusiasm that you're hearing from Microsoft is to actually see the product running. So let me introduce Mike Siebert, Corporate Vice President, come up and give us a quick glimpse of Windows Vista and Office 2007. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks, Bill. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Well, thank you all for being here tonight, and more importantly, thank you to all the families and beta testers who are gathered here tonight that have helped to make Windows Vista and Office 2007 the highest quality releases in Windows and Office history. Now, I know because of that, many of you are very familiar with these products, and so I'm going to do this demonstration from a different point of view. What I'd like to do over the next few minutes is just walk you through a little bit how these products are helping our family. I'm a father and a husband, and how these products are helping our family to live our digital lifestyle, how they're making it easier and safer and better connected and more entertaining as we go about living our digital lifestyle. Well, let's start with photos. You know, in the last year, more than 2 billion photos have been taken digitally around the world. It's no secret that this scenario has burst into the mainstream. And, you know, that's why it's so important that photo management become easier than it's ever been before. Now, in our family, we use tagging, Windows Vista's new tagging feature in the Windows Photo Gallery. Every time I bring in pictures from my digital camera, I just add one of these keywords, or several of these keywords, to each picture with a simple drag and drop maneuver. And what that allows me to do is to use the built-in search capabilities of Windows Vista to find all of my pictures. Gone are the days when I have to remember where I keep all these pictures and which folders and how I have it organized, because Windows Vista does it for me. I type the first few letters of my son Nathan's name, and up comes every picture in my entire library that has to do with Nathan. Well, I'll call up another picture here. You know, one of our beta testers, our Windows Vista families, Robin Mason, she tells us that she has more than 40,000 pictures in her library. And that means it better be pretty efficient to get the editing job done. And our testers told us we had to make editing easier than ever before and build it right into Windows Vista. And so I can do quick things like crop the picture if I want to, or make adjustments to the color or the exposure. Or take a look at this. With a single click, I can just run through my pictures one by one and give them that perfect exposure. Isn't that fantastic? That beautiful exposure every time. Well, you know, one of the things that our testers have told us, thank you, one of the things our testers have told us is that, you know, it's really important that we build right in the DVD burning capabilities. And so I've chosen just a few pictures here that I'm going to, and videos that I'm going to make a DVD out of. And you may notice that this burn icon is scattered in a few areas throughout Windows Vista, so it's always right there, easy for me to find. I'll simply click on it with those pictures and videos, and click Next. And you'll see that I get some great options on the DVD menus that I can choose from. And I like this one right here. I'll click Preview, and Windows Vista will make me a beautiful DVD to send to my grandma. Look at that. It's ready to render and play on any DVD player in the world. It's that easy, and it's built right in. Well, in our family, we don't just manage digital photos. We also do projects, and they range from the simple to the complex. I'll just use the built-in search and pull up a document. Now, this would be a document that you'd send out around the holidays, maybe that annual letter about your year. And as you can see, this particular one needs a little bit of work. And so, you know, in the old days, it might have taken me a couple of hours to figure out how to get this formatted just right. But with Office 2007, everything's been made easier. The ribbon gives me all these great choices that are relevant to what I want to do. And one of the things I want to start with this document is to get some formatting work done. Now, what I can do, in the old days I would have had to go in and make font changes and try to figure out how to get the columns to wrap around those pictures. But what I can do with Office 2007 is I can simply change the entire format of this document globally. And watch carefully at the document as I mouse over these different settings. Look at that. The entire document changes for me as I go along, and I can see exactly how I will look after I format it. Fantastic. I like that one right there. And so now I've got the job partly done, but remember that picture that we edited a minute ago and lightened up? I want to pull that into the document as well. And so I'll simply search for it using Windows Vista's built-in search, bring it right in. It comes full size, but no problem. With Office 2007, I don't have to guess what percentage to make it. I can just drag it to the size I want. And by the way, notice the ribbon at the top. It's changed, because I'm now working with pictures, and Office 2007 knows I'm working with pictures, and that ribbon has been smart. I've got a selection right here to center that picture. I want to take this nice picture of Nathan and put him on the left, and this picture of Jonathan, and I'll put him at right center. Well, I'm almost done with this document, and it's almost ready to go. But, you know, I wanted to have that polish that will really make me proud, because it's going to be going to my extended family. How many of you are the tech support for your entire extended family? I think this is probably the gathering of people that was pretty relevant. Well, you know what? That letter to the family had better look good then, shouldn't it? And so I want it to have the rounded edges and the reflective effects and things like that. The kinds of things that maybe would have used to take a PhD in graphic arts to figure out. Not with Office 2007. What I can do is simply mouse right over that, click it, and look at that. In less than 2 minutes, a beautiful document ready for broad distribution. Isn't that great? I love Office 2007. It makes everything so much easier. Well, what am I going to do with all that time I just saved? Well, in our case, games for Windows, that's what. And, you know, Windows is by far the world's most popular gaming platform. More than 200 million people play Windows games around the world, and Windows Vista has taken it all to the next level. Windows Vista makes gaming more powerful with DirectX 10 technology and upcoming titles like Company of Heroes and Flight Simulator 10. Company of Heroes is here now. And of course, this is my Games Explorer. This is what Windows Vista does to make my gaming experience easier than it's ever been, because all my games are here in one place where I can manage them the same way. I'm going to step into an upcoming release of Uno for Windows Vista, and I'm going to use my Xbox 360 controller plugged right into my Windows Vista machine, and I'm going to pull up a multiplayer game, because what Uno for Windows Vista can do is something that games before have never been able to do, and that's cross-platform play. You're going to see the familiar Xbox 360 set of settings, and I'm going to use the Microsoft Live gaming platform to see if I can find my 10-year-old son Jonathan at home in Seattle, Washington on his Xbox. Now, he goes by the alias Ice Monkey, and you can see that he's online. That's good, because I'm on stage, and this would be important at this point. And I'm going to go ahead and select him and invite him to play this game of Uno with me. Now, you know, I travel quite a bit, and you know, maybe I'm in a hotel room in Tokyo with my Windows Vista laptop, And it's really important that I'm able to have connections with my family when I'm gone. And this scenario is fantastic because it allows me to steal away a few minutes to play a game with Jonathan across, thousands of miles, 8 time zones, and 2 gaming platforms. Take a look at this. As I press start, we launch into a game together. And in just a moment, across all those times, we'll be playing cross-platform gameplay. And where'd it go? There it is. And there. Now you need to applaud that because I had to wait a minute. All right. And there it is. We're all in this game playing across the thousands of miles. Me on my Windows Vista machine and Jonathan on his Xbox. Well, that's something that my boys just love. And now I'm going to show you something that they just hate. And that's parental controls. Microsoft is really leading the way when it comes to family safety. And it's so important in today's connected world. I'll show you a scenario where I'm going to manage the settings for Nathan, my 11-year-old son, and he has a PC in his bedroom. And it's really important to me to be able to understand what's happening on his PC behind closed doors. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set some time limits for Nathan. It's as easy as that. Now the overnight hours are off limits for Nathan. It's as simple as that. Isn't that fantastic? I'll go into games. And Nathan's 11 years old. But I'm going to set games for him for teen and above, using the electronic software ratings board settings built right into Windows Vista, along with 9 other ratings boards around the world. And I can do that because I know about Nathan's maturity. And by the way, right here, I can choose specific teen games that may not be appropriate for him and go ahead and block those. And probably more importantly, under this link, I can view activity reports. It's a report card of sorts that tells me the kinds of experiences Nathan's had, the kinds of websites he's tried to access and been blocked, the kinds of instant messaging sessions and email sessions he's having, the games he's attempted to launch, so that we can have the right kinds of conversations and I can help to keep my family safe. So that's just a little bit about what happens in a bedroom scenario with a child's PC. But what about the living room? One of the most exciting things happening in our entire industry today is the explosive growth of big panel TVs in people's living rooms. It's one of the most exciting things. And the key question that people are asking about that scenario is, how do I get all that interesting PC content onto that big panel in the living room? Those photos, those videos, those downloadables from the internet. Well, the best answer to that, the most powerful answer, may surprise you. Because it's something that 10.5 million people already have. And that's Media Center Extender built right in to every Xbox 360 around the world. I've just switched to an Xbox. This is output from an Xbox. I'm going to use my Xbox controller. And in this house, it's connected to a Windows Vista PC. You can see the new Windows Vista Media Center user interface. Many more menu choices surfaced up top to take advantage of today's 16:9 monitors. I'll go into, I'll take a recorded program from The Office. This is a high-definition recording that I made on my Windows Vista machine using built-in cable card support coming on upcoming PCs. And I can, of course, record any high-definition feed I want. I don't have to pay a subscription. I don't have to pay a download feed, and I get any choice I want, not just a few studios. So there's a high-definition feed of The Office coming in through my Windows Vista PC, but being played on my Xbox. Take a look at this gorgeous menu overlay where I can actually go. Look at that high fidelity coming across my home network. Because what we like to do on our Media Center Extender is we like to look at our photos. And it's best if it has a musical overlay. And so I'm going to go and pick a track from my Windows Vista PC for Angels and Airwaves. We're so fortunate to have them with us tonight. Weren't they fun? And come on, weren't they great? That was great. That was Angels and Airwaves opening up. I'm going to pick off a track from them. I'm going to play it. And now that track starts. And all I have to do is back out a spot and pick some pictures. And when the extended family comes over, it's just great. We can all get together, take a look at those summer photos, and it's easier than ever before to get them up on that big panel and look at that slideshow. The music track, the pictures, our summer vacation, it's all right there in my Media Center Extender connected to a Windows Vista machine. All that was on an Xbox 360. Well, that's been just a little picture of fun and entertainment. And Entertainment comes in many forms, and fun comes in many forms. Sometimes it's sophisticated things like high-definition feeds, and sometimes it's simple things, little elegant things that just make the PC experience great. We've sprinkled those all throughout Windows Vista. And one of my favorite ones is something that's a Windows Vista Ultimate Extra. It's just a simple little thing that answers the question, hey, all those backgrounds, all those beautiful vistas that seem to be shown with Windows Vista PCs all the time, why shouldn't they do something more interesting than just sit there? Why shouldn't they do something just a little bit surprising? Something like this. Dream Scene, a Windows Vista Ultimate Extra. Isn't that fantastic? A motion video on my desktop. Well, look, it's been my pleasure to share with you some of the ways that for our family, Windows Vista and Office 2007 are making our digital lifestyle easier, safer, better connected when we're on the go, and a lot more fun. Thank you for everything you're doing to make these products great, and have a great time tonight. Thank you very much.
Opportunity for
Oh.
Great. We've sprinkled those all throughout Windows Vista. And one of my favorite ones, motion video on my desktop.
One word for it.
Wow.
Motion video on my desktop. Well, look, it's been my pleasure to share with you 2007 are making our digital lifestyle easier, safer, better connected when we're on the go, and a lot more fun. Thank you for everything you're doing to make these products great, and have a great time tonight. Thank you very much.
Okay. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, because honestly, why? And we're just gonna not be able to watch the other videos tonight. But okay, I think we got it. But anyway, all right. So I'm gonna turn on my light, cause seriously, my light. I don't have any light. And I'm looking at my PC screen a lot, so. Okay. Okay, sorry guys. This stuff kind of tires me out. Well, actually, my hands and stuff. Actually, my whole physical body kind of tires me out. So just deal with me when I have these things going on. Okay. So, I'm gonna just talk about a little bit of Windows Vista a little bit. So, let's see, what's the next video that we have here? So, Windows Vista, I'll be first to admit, it was a little bit overhated. Thing about it is, like, when you think about Windows Vista and you think about multimedia and such, when you think about multimedia and how it's changed the world, you start to kind of realize, like, Microsoft is kind of making it in the direction where they they focus a lot on multimedia things, on multimedia technologies, which were pretty much little bits and pieces and improvements of what the space could have be, little bits and pieces of what they wanted to do for their systems. And with Office 2007, and then with the new features that came in with the with the wallpaper, and just the new apps and applications that they were bundling it with. It was a big focus on multimedia, games, applications, and such. And with all that in mind, I think they did go kind of in the right direction, but they focused so much on that I think they forgot most of the business side of the group, where they would usually use the operating system for business use, for work, and all of that. So and I think that's what the server operating systems are for, even though I think people don't even use the servers that much. But the Windows Server operating systems, 2003 and 2008. Yeah, I think they forgot like a big part, and I get that it's supposed to be for home use, but like at the end of the day, I really do think that they focused so much on that they forgot some of the other audience that was there, the business side, for work and such. But yeah, and Bill Gates was nervous about the whole conference, and I think you could tell from like his eyes that that he wasn't really that proud of of Vista, because of the development changes and such. And you can see like a big difference when it comes to when it comes to the professional developers conference back in 2003 to when they were launching Windows Vista. You can see like a change in his expression. Like yeah, he remained professional and calm, but like his demeanor kind of changed from 2003 to 2000, like I think like 6 or 5, I would say, when it came to when the end of the development cycle for Vista came around. So that's kind of something I wanted to point out. But anyway, let's watch this other video on Google Plus, which that's another failed thing, by the way.
Rafe Needleman here with a first look of Google Plus, Google's Facebook killer. Well, not really. But Google Plus is the search giant's latest major social networking play, and it's the first product that may eventually just give other social networks, including Facebook and Twitter, a run for the money. Google has clearly learned a lot from the problems that affected earlier experiments like Orchid, Google Buzz, and Google Wave. The key social concept of Google Plus is the circle. You can create circles for the different parts of your life, your work, your family, your friends, your hobbies. And it's easy to drag people into circles and then to create updates that just go to particular circles, or to all of them at once. And then, to keep you from getting overwhelmed by all your contact social updates, you can watch just what's happening in particular circles by using streams. So if you're in the mood to see what's going on with your family, you just check out your family stream. The ease with which you can shift in and out of circles, send updates to one or some or all of them, is Google Plus's big differentiator from both Facebook and Twitter. Now, Facebook, in particular, also lets you send updates to particular groups, but in Plus, the whole setup is around carefully directing updates to particular groups. It doesn't feel like an afterthought like it does in Facebook. Google Plus also has a very strong video conferencing feature called Hangout. You can create a video room and then invite your friends from some or all of your circles. Plus displays everyone's webcam image at the bottom of the window and automatically shows a bigger video of whomever is talking. It's a seamless and very powerful video experience. We tried it here and we were up and running and having a natural conversation in moments. Plus also makes it really easy to share photos. It connects to Picasso web albums for instant sharing, or you can easily drag pictures from your computer into your stream to share with your circles. And if you're mobile, there's a good mobile web version of Plus. It has some features that you don't get in the big web version, like location-based check-in and the ability to see stream updates from the friends that are closest to you. But it can't access the video hangout features. Android users also get an app, and iPhone users will get the app later. All is not perfect in Plus land, though. Adding people to your circles can be time-consuming and a little confusing, especially if you're used to the more monolithic social systems of Facebook or Twitter. It's not clear, for example, if you add someone to a circle, if you're also added to one of theirs. Also, integration with other Google services is so far incomplete. For example, if you have a lot of contacts in, say, Google Voice, you might see all of those people in Google+, but not the categories or the circles that you filed them under. And if you send a direct message to a user from Plus through the email feature and they email you back, it shows up in your Gmail viewer, not in Plus. Plus is big on privacy and data ownership, though, which is a big plus. The whole idea of segregating your updates into circles makes it much easier, in theory, to control who sees what of the things you post. Google is also pushing Plus's takeout feature that lets you export all the information on Plus to your own computer for use however you want. Facebook finally has this too, but that was a very long time coming. If you want to get into Plus, hit up your friends. There's big demand for people to try this service, and people who are in it have been sending out a lot of invitations. Google is only letting those invitations go out in small batches for the time being, but they should start flowing again soon. It is unlikely that Google Plus will unseat Facebook as the #1 social network, but it is a worthy additional social service. If you're not already overwhelmed by having to manage your connections in Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and elsewhere, it's really worth a try when you can get in. I'm Rafe Needlewood for ZDNet.
Okay, so when it comes to Google Plus and just how they went about the whole thing, I'll be completely honest. I don't think this video did justice on what it was gonna try to do. I don't know. Like, there were some things that they added here that they were completely unnecessary, and I'll read these comments from the video itself. So here we go. So we're gonna just read this first comment in the Google Facebook killer video. So, over many years, I had the option of placing my cell phone contacts into categories such as family, friends, co-workers, etc. The groups are normally pre-made on the phone, and I can always add more. The reality is I don't add my phone contacts to categories. If I want something to say to specific people, I add multiple people to a text. If I want to send something private on Facebook to a couple people, I send a private message. I don't see Google Plus being a success, which, don't get me wrong, I would say that is 100% true, because what would you do on a phone anyway? Like, what do you do on a phone anyway when it comes to texting, right? So, I'm gonna just show, like, I'm gonna just show my face here for a brief second, and I'm gonna probably just I'm gonna show this to kind of give you an idea here. So here's my face, and so let's see. So let me just go ahead and add this. So okay, so let me just type in my mom's name and my dad's name here. So let's just type in mom. Okay. Here we go. And then my dad's name. Okay. So let's just say I have both of them here, right? Okay, so I have both of these here. Okay, I have both of these here. So I don't think you'd see that, but you can see, yeah, you can see the messages. So there's the recipients. So I can just enter text. So let's so I just say I want to say thank you, and it sends them to both. So I'm not gonna type it in here because that's what I think. I think I'm gonna say, but I'm not gonna do it right now because, well, I'm not gonna send a text to my parents. Anyway, you could send messages to people with the phone already, with the messages app already, and even you can make like calls already to. You can make calls already to multiple different. You can even make calls like multiple people can call you in a group. That's what WhatsApp is for, and that's what the phone app is for on the actual phone too. So there's no need for something like this. I like Google Plus, in my opinion, was something that was flawed. A missing feature. So, that's what I think about all this. So, yeah. So, now we're gonna get into another video here, and I think this is gonna be like the last video that I got for today. So, alright, so this is like 1 hour, so we're gonna just move on through. Oh boy. Alright. Now here we go with the virtual boy games. So, all right. I'm just gonna take out my base cam for a little bit because I think it kind of disturbs here. All right, there we go. All right.
Question: would you build a website for a major brand with more than 200 million users using Wix? Well, we did.
Alright. Okay, that was done. So, I'm gonna end the stream here, because seriously, I know it's good to talk for an hour, but I know it's good for, to watch these things for like an hour, but, honestly, I have the video to do, because the review is gonna be coming out at some point soon. I have to get that done, so but I really do want to show you some progress of the video so far. The editing is barely started, but I'm gonna just show you like the thumbnails, by the way, because I really think you guys will like the thumbnails a lot. So I'm just gonna show you the first one. Actually, the first one and the second one. The first one is complete, but the second one is just more of like an in progress thing. So, but you can see that the first one is pretty good. So you can see all the effects and all the wonderful things that came with this like project. The thing about this was I wanted to kind of have like a thumbnail that spoke to the actual movie, and I think this kind of did it a little bit. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy that one. If you guys want me to put that as the thumbnail, or the 8-bit invasion as the title, that could be one thing. And of course, I haven't finished this particular thumbnail yet, but this is just a work in progress for thumbnail 2. Thumbnail 2, I was gonna have all the retro characters that were in the movie: Mario, Galaga, Centipede, Pac-Man, all be an invasion with each other. So like, have Mario get some Goombas, have Galaga shoot the enemies from down there, and from down somewhere, and then Pac-Man uses ghosts and everything. Like what is it, Donkey Kong throws some barrels or whatever, and just a fun little thumbnail, but like something to portray all the battles, and like the people down there are scared. Like I added 2 people down there, to be scared and run away from the 80s invasion. Like that's how the movie is. And I think like if I portray something like that, I wanted it to be that way. But technically I'm not even finished yet with this first thumbnail, but I'm adding effects and stuff beforehand. But I'm more or less thinking of using this thumbnail though. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's a pretty good one, by the way. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's all I gotta show. And I really do